my good faithful YouTube viewers and listeners. It is the Jer Bear. It's been a while since I've done a daily rant. It is officially Saturday, April 24th, 2021. I almost forgot the date. How you guys doing? It's been quite a while since I've sat down to do a daily rant recording, and just some things I want to talk about. Some things that, still bother me, most of it basically being old problems that I've discussed ad nauseum. But there is one particular individual whose attention I want focused on this specific daily rant. And she goes by the name of Lori Libby. Now, Lori Libby is the mom of a cancer warrior. If you go on Facebook and you find a page called Max the Brave Cancer Destroyer, well, that's Lori's son. He is a cancer warrior. And Lori has her head up Mike Tyson's ass. She is a huge supporter of FAM. FAM the scam is what I call it. And so, Lori, if you're listening, because I know someone is bound to share this this particular video, and they're going to share it with her, and it's going to get back to her eventually, unless she comes to my channel and watches the videos or listens to the daily rant recordings, which I highly doubt is the case anyway. But I know that this is going to get back to her somehow. One of the trolls or one of the haters or one of my quote-unquote eyes are going to notice this, they're going to listen to this, they're going to get it back to her, which is fine. I have no problem with that. Lori, so I haven't emailed you in a long time because you cried foul, you cried victimhood, and I didn't stop emailing you because of your cry for victimhood or cry of victimhood, which you're not a fucking victim, by the way. I stopped emailing you because I come upon this discovery that there's no getting through to a dimwit. How do you let people like this into your life? How would you let a known, self-proclaimed sexual predator into your life? How do you let Mike Tyson, a guy like Mike Tyson, a guy who is the most disgusting, most nastiest person in the fucking world, how do you let him have access to your children? And this isn't just for Lori, this is for anybody who's associated with FAM or Mike Tyson. But in particular, I want this to be for Lori Libby. You can cry victimhood all you want, honey. That doesn't do anything to me. Doesn't faze me, doesn't make me feel 1 ounce of sympathy for you. Because you're fraternizing with a sexual predator, a guy who openly admitted to it, and you think that FAM is just the bee's knees, and that everything that Mike Tyson does and everything FAM does is just A-okay. What if this guy, not saying Mike Tyson is, but let's say for sake of an argument that Mike Tyson is actually a registered sex offender, which he's not. But let's say he is. And let's say that after he did time in prison for sex crimes on someone, which he should be in prison anyway for doing sex crimes on someone, which sexual harassment is predatory behavior, but that's another discussion for another day. Let's say, for example, that Milk was a registered sex offender, okay? And he gave you $10 million. Are you going to let money cloud your judgment then? In the same way that you let money cloud your judgment in this particular instance, because this is the thing that really it stands out the most. Like if this could be in bold fucking lettering, it would stand out the most. People make such a big deal about me emailing them, about me writing them letters. Please. Let's be fucking real here. If you're going to make that big of a deal over someone who emails you, writes you a letter, and you're not going to make not one drop of a big deal over Mike Tyson admitting that he's a sex predator and he got kicked out of a homeless shelter for sexually harassing someone, we got a serious fucking problem here now, don't we? A serious problem. How can you be okay with a self-admitted, self-proclaimed sexual predator, but yet you're going to read something on Facebook and, oh, Jared's a bad guy. I determined that Jared's a bad guy because of something I read on Facebook. Or, well, I see his behavior towards me. Yeah, you know why I have particular behaviors towards you, Lori? Because there's too many of your kind out there. Too many uneducated, dumb fuck, knucklehead people who are allowing people like Milk Tyson to come into your life, and you don't seem to care either way. He's a sexual deviant. And because fam is, they put your son Max in the spotlight on the Fighting All Monsters page, you were just jumping for joy. You were just head over heels about that. It's sick, Lori, and you are fucking sick. Now, you don't have to agree with that, and chances are good that you don't, and I don't care that you don't agree with it, because like most people, they don't agree with anything that is truthful. They live in this delusional bubble where everyone is so good, even if they're not good. I don't live in that kind of a world. I don't know what the fuck kind of world you're living in, but I don't live in that world. How do you let this happen? How does a guy like Milk Tyson get away with doing this? How does he get away with winning over the hearts and minds of so many fucking gullible people? How does he do it? Is it the money? I would imagine that it is. I would imagine that it is. And I say that because I don't have a lot of money. But people are going to make such a huge deal about me emailing someone like Lori does. She's going to throw a bitch fit like an immature child. Then you have people who throw a bitch fit about me writing them a letter. But somehow, in Lori's world, it's okay to be a sexual predator as long as you buy her off. As long as you give her money. As long as you help her kid. Okay, Lori, as long as someone helps your kid. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to reason with you here. I'm going to level with you about something. You know that I'm a child of cancer survivor, and you know that I can directly relate to Max's situation. All the cussing and cursing, all that aside, let's be realistic about something. You know that I can relate to Max's situation. You know this. And for some reason or another, it bothers you. Milk Tyson can't relate to your kid's situation, but I can. 32 years worth of experience. I can definitely relate to Max's situation. And I wasn't going to, mention Max's name because he's just a little kid. He's just, he's a minor. And I didn't really want to mention his name at all, but the name of the page is Max the Brave Cancer Destroyer. And Lori Libby, I'm going to put this out there for the world to fucking know. Lori Libby sides with sex predators. She makes excuses for sex predators. She defends sex predators. And it makes me wonder, it actually makes me fearful of the fact that Max could potentially be around all kinds of sex predators and nobody knows about it. Lori doesn't give a fuck, obviously. If she's going to let a guy like Milk Tyson have access to her family, who knows how many other sex predators that come in contact with him. And, I'm very fearful for Max's life. It might sound like like a dramatic situation. I don't care. Someone's got to look out for that kid. And Lori, if you had any fucking brains, you would get your priorities straight, and you would say to yourself, or at least think to yourself, you know what? Jared actually didn't do anything wrong per se. Emailing me, harmless. Big deal, so he emailed me. Big fucking deal. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't say the word fuck because you're perfect. I forgot. You're so perfect. You're above everybody else. Oh, and by the way, I'm not a sex predator. Perhaps if I were, you might come to my defense. If I was a sex predator, like Mike Tyson is, I would be absolutely fucking ashamed of myself. Absolutely ashamed. I wouldn't want anything to do with anybody. But listen, Lori, I have very much experience as a child a cancer survivor. I could tell Max things that would just blow him away. I bet you anything he's scared. He lives in fear for his life, and he should. Being a brave little warrior that he is. He's a sweet kid. He's got a bright, beautiful smile. He's a fighter. He's a strong kid. It's just too bad that he's got parents for fuckheads who constantly put a sex predator on a pedestal. And I can't believe I'm even saying this. I just can't believe the nerve of people. Somehow it's wrong to email someone or to write someone a letter. But if you're like Mike Tyson, where you're a sex predator giving out free money, well, we'll make an exception for him. It makes me wonder, though, now that I mentioned it, that if she did accept a gift, or I guess it would be a gift of $10 million from a known child molester, would she be making the same exceptions for that person? It makes me wonder. And I wonder how many other creeps have access to Max. It makes me wonder. I don't think I'm blowing this out of proportion. I don't think that I'm being unreasonable in my thinking. But listen, Lori, if you are this willing to let a maggot creep legion ass motherfucker like Mo Tyson have access to your family, if you are willing enough, because he's got enough people brainwashed, enough people, everybody seems to be okay with this. They don't see the forest for the trees. One day they will. And when you do, you're not going to admit that I was right, because that's going to hurt too much. We can't side with Jared Fuller, even though he's telling us the truth, and although he can directly relate to my child's situation, and although he was looking out for us in our best interest, we can't give him the benefit of the doubt, because then that means that we have to agree or side with Jared Fuller, which makes us it means that we're fraternizing with the enemy. I get it. What I don't get is how emailing someone or writing someone a letter can be more severe than allowing for a self-admitted sexual predator gaining access to you and your child. Something is totally fucking wrong with that. And if you can't see that, Lori, there is no hope for you. There is no hope for you. And that goes for any other motherfucking parent out there, parent of a cancer kid or not. If you're going to encourage Mike Tyson, you're going to encourage a sex predator to do the things he's doing. This isn't me being jealous. I'm not jealous of anyone. I'm not jealous of anybody. I'm discontented with people because they're so fucking stupid that they don't understand what's going on. They don't see it. They're blindsided. They let money cloud their judgment. This is the kind of shit that literally keeps me up at night. I just want to know, Lori, how do you... What are you thinking? What's going through your mind? Come on now, you're not a victim because I emailed you. Oh, no, you're harassing me. Go fuck yourself. I'm not harassing you or anybody by emailing them. Please. Please. It's not harassment. Cry me a fucking river, okay? I emailed you to get you to understand the error of your ways. Many people are waking up to this. Many people I've noticed. I put it out there. I'm not afraid to say shit. I'm not afraid to say shit about anyone at any time. I think I've made that abundantly clear. I'm not afraid to say anything about anybody. But it really irks me. It really just irritates me. It grabs me right by the fucking balls that someone who is a parent, they call themselves mothers and fathers, which you're not deserving of that title, Lori. You're not a mother. You're a birth giver. You're not a mother because you are allowing, you're praising a sex predator. You know, there's lots of parents who actually let that Milk Tyson in their house. In their fucking house. Can you believe that? With these people, honestly, I can believe just about anything. But they let this creepy, slimy piece of shit, maggot legion motherfucking loser in their house. They allowed him access to their children. Knows nothing about childhood cancer. He admitted that he's doing this for himself, which I already knew. This motherfucker doesn't care about you. He's already made that abundantly clear. He does not give a flying fuck about you. He doesn't. He never did. He never will. He wants to make a name for himself, even if it means using your kid and their cancer diagnosis as a stepladder to get to whatever success he's looking for. Lori, I'm sorry that you're too stupid and blind to see that. One day you're going to open your eyes to it. One day you will. And I hope that when it happens, I don't wish bad on you. I really don't, because you're going through enough as it is with Max. But I hope that when you come to your senses and you start to think about shit, I want you to email me, and I promise you I'm not going to cry victimhood because, she emailed me. Shut the fuck up. Just email me. Email me and say, you know what? You were right the whole time, Jared. What was I thinking? It's happened a few times already. It's happened a few times. I could just never let someone like that have control over my life. I don't care how much money they have. I don't care what they do. I don't care how much money they have. He is a piece of shit. And I'm telling you, Lori, you're going to wake up to this eventually, sooner or later, honey. You're going to open your eyes to this. You're going to wake up and smell the roses. You're going to understand and realize the kind of maggot motherfucker he is. He's a drug dealer. Someone who has, only a fool, only a dumb fuck would have the words drug dealer tattooed on their chest. You have got to be the dumbest motherfucker alive. You're proud of that? You're going to advertise that you're a drug dealer? You know, if you're a drug dealer, that may... I don't know if this is just a ploy for attention, all eyes on me, but you make yourself an eyesore. A drug dealer. Yeah, you must be really fucking proud. Really fucking proud. But Lori, back to you, actually. You don't have to be happy with me right now, and I really don't care. I don't care. My only concern is Max. I fear for that kid. I fear for him. It's not just the cancer diagnosis. It's not just hospital stays and clinic visits and all that. It's not that. You're praising a sex predator. You're praising a fucking sex predator, and you don't care. Just like Brianne Benjamin praises a sex predator, just like a whole bunch of people, actually. Brenda, whatever her name is, Layla's mom or grandma or whatever, whoever the fuck it is. A little girl named Layla, and I didn't even want to mention her name, but Milk Tyson was up all hours of the night. All hours of the fucking night. Messaging this little girl. Messaging. And I saw the screenshot when I was on Facebook. I've seen it. I read it. Where the fuck are the parents at when this is going on? Where the fuck are the parents? It's creepy as fuck. you're okay with a grown man, a 35, and I'm gonna phrase it like this because I'm gonna play along with the same fucking narrative that you guys try to push onto me. I'm gonna play along with this, and I'm gonna throw it right back into your fucking face. Check this out. If it's wrong for me to email or write a letter to a cancer warrior thinking that it means something, okay, so why is it then okay for a man, not even a man, he's just a legion loser, how is it okay for him to message a little girl in the middle of the fucking night? The parents allow this. They allow their little girl to have access to this grown man. How the fuck does that happen? Why are you okay with that? That's okay. Emailing people, writing letters, no, shame, Jared, you're going to go to jail because you're harassing them. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Seriously? You people, you still don't get it. It's not clicking in your heads. I give you too much credit for being smart and reasonable. Maybe I should stop. You motherfuckers don't know the difference between objective and subjective. You have no clue what that means. Mike Tyson, in The Objective, admitted to being a sex predator. He thought it was a joke. And why no one sees... And this is the thing that really kills me. Why no one sees that as a threat is beyond my understanding. That's an objective truth. He admitted to sex predatory behavior. The subjective is, well, I don't feel that. I don't give a fuck what you feel. Your feelings don't fucking matter here. Lori, one day you're going to wake up, one day you're going to smell the fucking roses, and you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to like my quote-unquote foul language. Fuck that. It's language. Get over it. You don't have to like what I say or how I say it. But I want you to know that I always cared about your Max. I always cared about Max. Little brother. And he always will be a little brother. And I'm really... I'm just... I don't even know how to describe it. I'm flummoxed. How someone like you call yourself a mother... You're far from that, because you're not taking the precautions. You would rather let a creep around your kid than admit that I was right and do what you're supposed to do, calling yourself a mother. I just don't get you people. You're fucked in the head. You're fucked. And I'm the one with the problems? Yeah, because I want to make peace with everybody. Or at least I tried. You shake hands with people and look who gets fucked. Me. I mean, you really have to be... You can be... and this is the fucked up part about it. You could be sick in the head... being a fucking sex predator, you can be an egocentric, you can be whatever you want to be, as long as you got money, as long as you have the dough and you can help people. Hey, we don't care if you're an egocentric, we don't care if you're a sex predator, you could be a child rapist and it wouldn't matter to these people. I'm convinced. These people don't give a fuck. They don't care. You one of those people, Lori? Am I going to lump you in with the rest of these dumb fucks? You just don't care about who comes into your life or who is around your kids? It's really sick. Ask Brenda. She don't give a fuck that Mike Tyson can message Layla all hours of the night. She's a little girl. What the fuck is a grown man messaging a little girl for in the middle of the night? You people are fucking stupid. This is why I detached from this awareness bullshit. Fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. All of it is. I haven't talked about this publicly in a daily rant in a long time because it's just, as many times as I say it just doesn't change anything. Stupid people are always going to be stupid fucking people. They don't care. They're careless and stupid, and they got their fucking priorities backwards. They got their priorities all mixed up. It doesn't matter that, you know, this guy over here is a sex predator and this guy over here, well, he's never broken the law. He's never done anything that would even remotely constitute as breaking the law. He just wrote a letter. He just emailed somebody. Big, hairy fucking whoop-de-doo. There's no victim. It's a victimless crime, so to speak. And it only happens when I corner people, when I hold their feet to the fire. That's when they cry victim. That's when they cry foul. Typical of people in 2021. When you back them into a corner where they can't get out of it and they have no choice but to admit that they were wrong, or when they have no choice to admit that they fucked up, oh, they hate you for it. They hate you for it. They'll resent you for it all day fucking long. All day, every day. They will hate you. And in retaliation, they will come up with bogus ass shit that's not true to try to deflect and make you look like a bad guy or an evil person because you made them realize the truth of what they did. You made them realize the error in their thinking or the error in their judgment. And that is the objective truth that they don't like. Instead, we go by feelings. We say, well, I don't feel. You can say that and you show me the evidence, but I don't feel that that's what that is. I don't care what you fucking feel. When feelings get in the way of what's actually true or not true, that's where problems come about. That's where we run into major issues. Doesn't anybody get that? I don't give a fuck about your feelings. I only care about what's true and what's not. If something is not true, it's not fucking true. It's just the way it is. If something is true, then take action. I don't know why people don't understand this. They don't understand. I don't know. It just seems like such a fucking dead-end discussion. It seems like a point that goes nowhere in a hurry, and I'm just talking in circles because I could go on and on and on and on about this and nobody's going to care. Just goes through one ear and out the other. That's why I'm pretty much... It's why I keep to myself anymore a lot of the time. And I have. You know, usually I come on and do a daily rant at least once a week or twice a week, but I haven't really been doing a whole hell of a lot. I haven't really been writing in my journal that much. And I love writing in my journal. But it hasn't happened a whole lot lately because I'm just sitting and thinking. I'm daydreaming. I'm trying to understand why people are so fucking stupid, why they're so ignorant about things. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And Lori, I know you're listening to this, and I'm trying to understand why you make excuses for people like this. I'm trying to understand how it's worse to email someone, write someone a letter. How is it worse than admitting that you're a sex predator and then laughing about it as if it's some kind of a fucking funny joke? It's not a joke. It's not. It's serious shit. How are you okay with that? Because he bought you off? Because he gave you money? Seriously, what the fuck is it? Of course, you'll never email me, but I know this is going to get to you in some way or another. Someone's going to copy the link to this Daily Rant recording. They're going to put, they're going to copy and paste the link in Messenger. And they're going to say, hey, Lori, this Jared Fuller guy, he's talking shit about you. I try not to, but you leave me with no choice, Lori. Now, if you would just open your eyes and look at things for what they are, stop being so fucking blind about shit, understand that this is an issue. This is an issue that needs dealt with. And it's not just Lori, it's anybody listening to this. If you associate with FAM, if you associate with Mike Tyson, you need to be aware of what the fuck is going on. And if you don't see anything wrong with that, you're just as equally disgusting as he is. To even let this guy around your fucking kids. Like Caressa, her name is Caressa Edwards. Oh, she hates me. Why? I have no idea. Probably because I speak truth about Mike Tyson, among many other people. She hates my guts. See, the thing is that there's so much hatred. People hate for no legitimate reason other than they're told to, which is not a very good fucking reason. I don't hate anybody because I'm told to. I don't roll over on command. Sorry. That's what separates me from the sheep of the world. But anyway, Caressa Edwards has got her head so far up Mike Tyson's ass, she's probably licking his breakfast. I mean, that's how disgusting this little thing is with these two. It's really just a fucking joke. It's a disgusting joke, and it's a circus. And speaking of childhood cancer, I'm so glad to just be detached from that nonsense, because I gotta be honest with you guys, the longer I stuck around, the more I started to see, what was really and truly going on. I started to see it for what it really and truly was. There is competition going on. I've had numerous people tell me, whether it be email or phone call, they're saying, well, no, Jared, I don't agree with you. There's no competition. The fuck if there isn't. The fuck if there isn't. If there's not competition going on, then why aren't more people cooperating? Why aren't more and more nonprofit organizations getting together and cooperating? You don't hear about that. You never hear about FAM hooking up with Still Brave. You never hear about St. Baldrick's hooking up with Still Brave or any of the big Still Brave is not even a big nonprofit organization. It's just a nonprofit organization. It's not a big one. Why aren't more people getting together and collaborating if it's such a community? If there's no competition? Why are quote-unquote advocates constantly trying to outdo one another? So much to the point where they go bankrupt, where they end up in financial ruin. Why? Why would they do that if there's no competition? Why would they constantly be trying to outdo each other? You don't see that? Again, you're fucking blind. Some of us have woken up to that. Mike Tyson is not doing this for your kids. Tom Mitchell's not even doing this for your kids. None of them are. Nobody is really and truly doing the things they're doing for your children. If you are listening to this, and if you're a parent of a kid fighting cancer, there's not a single fucking nonprofit organization out there that really and truly gives a fuck about you or your family. They don't. Because if they cared, they wouldn't have to make it known to the world that you were down on your luck and they stepped in and played Captain America using your kids. I thought that kids were the superheroes that wore the capes. Why are the adults so hooked on this idea that they're the true superheroes? Doesn't make much sense to me. I thought the real superheroes were the kids fighting cancer. But no, you got Mike Tyson and Tom Mitchell who are constantly competing with one another. Hey, you did this, I'll do better than that. Anything you can do, I can do better. It is a rendition of Annie Get Your Gun. Competition has overshadowed cooperation. We can stop calling it a community, because it's not a fucking community. It's a demographic. Tom Mitchell picked up on that word and started using it himself. That's after I said that it was a demographic. It's not both. You can't have it both. It's one or the other. It's got to be one or the other. So it's not a community. It's a demographic. That's it. I would like for one of these people, these quote unquote big people that you childhood cancer parents out there put on pedestals so fucking much. I would like for one of those big people to actually do something without putting it on Facebook. I would actually like for one of these people to do something without notoriety, without popularity, without the thumbs and the hearts and all that stupid meaningless bullshit on Facebook. These popularity signals that don't mean jack shit at the end of the day. I would like for you people to actually do something that doesn't require you to be in a spotlight. And then you tell me if you really and truly give a fuck about people's kids. Because if you cannot resist the temptation of going out of your way to put your look at me's on Facebook, then you're truly not doing this for anybody but yourself. And yes, that goes for Sadie Keller too. Much as I love and adore Sadie, she's a sweetheart. She's a warrior sister, but you know what? I said this in a previous Daily Rant recording. I'm not impressed by the fact that she stood next to Donald Trump when he signed some stupid fucking law. It didn't impress me. It doesn't make a bit of difference. These people have an agenda, okay? Everybody wants to be the one, the person. They think they're going to make things happen. They're going to foster change with childhood cancer funding and research. Everybody wants to be the one. I'm going to fight. I'm going to take a stand. You're not doing a fucking thing. You people aren't doing shit. You're not doing a fucking thing. Do you know what that's called when you put a gold ribbon on Facebook? It's called virtue signaling. It's virtue signaling. Tell me how posting a gold ribbon to Facebook is actually going to help funding. Are you fucking serious? Are you kidding me? I'll admit, I was naive at one time before I, reached the age of reason, which was, last year, a couple years ago. That this shit does not make any fucking sense. It's not going to do one bit of good. There's always going to be the same problem tomorrow, the next week, the next day, the next month, the next year, the next 10 years, whatever. That's always going to be there. And let's say, for example, the government says, oh, okay, let's decide to up the ante a little bit. Let's decide to put more funding towards research for childhood cancer. Instead of 4%, let's say 7%. You know what's going to happen after that? I can guarantee you what's going to happen. I can guarantee you. I'm going to call it right now. If that number moves above 4%, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get all these advocates, all these people who are so self-absorbed, self-centered. They're going to try to claim that victory. They're going to be fighting over who made that happen. And I'm going to tell you right now, dirty little secret, not a single one of you fuckers were responsible for that. Because ultimately, the government has the final word. I don't care how big you think you are. I don't care how much work you do or how devoted you are. You aren't doing shit. And no matter the strength of your convictions or your passions, nothing is going to change merely because you are so enthusiastic about trying to sponge attention for yourselves. The bare minimum in all this is, well, I posted a gold ribbon to Facebook. Look how fucking special I am. That's naivety talking, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? as a man, I could admit, yeah, I was naive, thinking that maybe somehow, posting a gold ribbon to Facebook would actually make a difference. Boy, was I fucking stupid. Was I stupid? Boy, was I stupid. Boy, was I an idiot. Tom Mitchell talks so much about being aggressive, quote-unquote aggressive, about raising awareness. That doesn't do shit. That doesn't do a fucking thing, Tom. You know what that does? That's a power word. Aggressive. I'm aggressive about raising awareness. Well, whoop-de-fucking-do for you, buddy. You know? Whoop-de-fucking-do. So you're aggressive about raising awareness. That's called being passionate. It's the whole thing is just stupid. It's a circus. It's just a circus. You got these people who care more about... They are so self-absorbed. They're so self-centered. They care more about looking good than they care about doing good. This is a popularity contest at its best. And you can email me, you can text me, and you can tell me how much you disagree. You're a fucking fool for disagreeing. Because it's right there in front of you. Well, he gives a damn. He does what he does, and he doesn't give a damn about popularity. Really? So then why does he have to post it on social media then? Can you answer that question? Can you actually tell me how that is? If people don't care about popularity, then why would they bother posting it on Facebook? I could see if you're saying, well, please donate to my cause. If you feel inclined, that's different. But to say, look at me, I raised $20, $30, $40, $50,000 for the XYZ Childhood Cancer Foundation, right? Big deal. You could have just done that and left it off fucking Facebook. Yeah. Yep. That's how it is, guys. That's how it is. And people want to deny the fact that there's competition going on. And I keep telling people they're always competing with one another. There's always some kind of competition going on. Well, you have to be competitive. Why do you have to be competitive? So then stop calling it a community. A community doesn't fight with one another. The competition for what? Being number one? Taking the spotlight? I'm telling you, nothing's going to change with funding and all that shit. Nothing is going to change. Nothing. You guys are just wasting your breath. You're wasting your time. And it may be easier for me to say because I'm a survivor. I haven't discarded that idea. But I want for people to understand that, you know, you got to be rational about how you look at things. You don't have a laboratory in your house. You're not a fucking PI. You're not in the labs doing this shit, dreaming up ideas for cures. You have no direct connection with what goes on in the laboratory. You know, I can talk about my personal experiences. I can relate to your kid's situation, but I'm not a fucking scientist. I was a patient, just like your kid is now, just like your kid was then. And Lori, I really didn't want any hard feelings with you. I didn't. I actually wanted to have a civil conversation with you. But like the immature, childish preteen that you are, you cried foul. Oh, you're harassing me. I've asked you to stop emailing me. Listen, it's a fucking email, okay? I'm not slugging you in your shoulder. Okay? You don't get black and blue from an email. Get over yourself. This self-absorption with people, this entitlement attitude with people, it's gotten way out of fucking hand. Way out of hand. People think that they are entitled to not feel uncomfortable or to not be made out to be some, you know, well, he made me feel uncomfortable. Oh, well, he embarrassed me. How dare he? You know what? It's an embarrassment when you put sex predators on a pedestal just because they paid you off. Debbie Zemlach did the same thing. Ask her about it. She'll tell you. A lot of people have been bought off by Mike Tyson. He's brainwashed all these people. He doesn't know a goddamn thing about sitting in a hospital. He doesn't know shit about getting chemo. He doesn't know shit about radiation. In fact, he doesn't know shit about being allergic to the sun. He doesn't know shit about anything relating to childhood cancer. He only goes by what he is told. He goes by the testimony of the families and the children. That's it. He doesn't know a fucking thing about anything relating to childhood cancer. Nothing. Because experience, personal experience, is something that you can never buy. There's no price tag on personal experience. The only price you pay is the blood, sweat, and tears that you sacrifice in fighting this shit, which I have done. So if there's any price to be paid, I fucking paid it. And then some. And when I try to reach out to people like Lori, thinking maybe she would understand what I'm trying to say, and because I'm not like the rest of those gold ribbon, frenzied people. I'm not like that anymore. I don't think that way. I don't feel that way. A gold ribbon's just a fucking gold ribbon. It doesn't do anything to make the situation better. I don't give a fuck about gold ribbons anymore. I don't get choked up at a gold ribbon. It doesn't do shit for me. I played that game, and it was a stupid fucking game. I care about the people. The people, that's all I care about. And it's all I've ever cared about, truthfully. But it does get difficult sometimes when you're trying to explain that in a way where people are not going to take it the wrong. Because I'm telling you guys, you can say the word love, and easily that word gets misconstrued. It gets taken out of context. I love your family. I love your kids. I love your, I love the fact that we can have these conversations. People take the word love and they misconstrue it. I'm telling you, the childhood cancer world is a fucking colossal mess. It's a circus. People are competing with one another. And these people truly do not give a fuck about anyone but themselves. They gotta look good. Looking good is more important than doing good with these people. Lori, you see this with Mike Tyson. Don't play stupid. Don't act like you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what's going on, honey. You know exactly what's going on. How are you going to be so blind to it? It's one thing to be a fucking nitwit, but to prove to be a fucking jackass is another. And really, I wasn't exaggerating. I wasn't embellishing. I really and truly feel sorry and scared for Max. I mean, Lori, if you're okay with this Mike Tyson guy having connections with you, being a sex predator, because he bought you off, I would hate to actually know how many child molesters are around Max. I would hate to know how many fucking registered sex offenders have access to your kids. I would really, I'm really scared for your son. And that goes for anybody else who is associated with Fam and Mike Tyson. It's really fucking sick. It's really sick. And there's something else that separates me from Mike Tyson too. I don't have to buy my friendship. I don't have a single friend out there that I had to buy their friendship. All my friendships were natural. That's it. Natural. People are going to love you or they're going to hate you. I've never had to buy a friendship. Not a one. Not a day in my life. Mike Tyson can't say that. Tom Mitchell can't say that. None of these other people can say it. Everybody's too impressed with money. You could be the most self-absorbed, self-righteous motherfucker in the world and nobody's going to care because you have money. And you're using people's calamity to sponge attention for yourself. It's really just a shame. Now, me, I do these daily rant recordings. I'm not telling anyone to come here. You people come here on your own accord. You people are here because, you're trying to catch me slipping up somewhere. That's all that is. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. That's all I gotta say. But Lori, I don't hold any ill will against you, but at this point in time, in this moment, you're just being really fucking stupid. If you want to email me, which I know you won't, but I'm going to invite you to email me anyway. Maybe we could have a civilized conversation. Maybe we won't. Because I have this reason, I have this feeling that this video, this particular soundbite, is going to get back to Lori. Good! Mission accomplished. I have very little sympathy for people who knowingly do shit like this. I only feel bad for Max. I don't feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for a lot of people anymore, but I feel bad for their kids. To have such dumb fucking parents. Dumb ass parents. Dumb people. It's like, it's almost like saying, and I talked about this in another Daily Rant recording some time ago. It's like these parents who get uptight about, well, I don't want my kids talking to grown people or strangers on the internet, people they don't know. Well, one of two things are going on there. And I've already simplified this right down to the fucking letter. Only one of two things are happening. Either you really are letting your kid have full control or full access to the internet, in which case they are having communication with grown adults, which falls back on your feet. That's your fucking stupidity for allowing your kid to have access. Or the grown adult sees your kid's picture, but they're actually talking to you. Okay, so in that case, there's no harm. What's the harm? There is none if they're talking to you. Isn't that what you want? See, it's you can't have it both ways. There's a lot of parents out there who they have this entitlement mentality. Because they have kids, they're perfect, they never do wrong. Parents are full of fucking shit. Parents are full of fucking shit. And I'll even say that about my own parents. I love them dearly. Nothing I wouldn't do for them, but my parents can be full of fucking shit. And that's just the way it is. Most parents are full of shit. You gotta be full of shit. Sometimes. Not always. But you gotta teach your kids to look out for the bullshit. And I have a feeling that unless Lori does something about it now, unless she acts on this shit now, Max is gonna be way too trustworthy of people, especially people he doesn't know. Like actual child molesters, predators, rapists, and he's going to be too friendly to them, and something bad's going to happen, and I don't wish that. I don't want Max to be hurt. I don't want any kid to get hurt. I don't want to see that happen to anybody. But God, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, how do you knowingly let a sex predator, someone who admitted to predatory behavior, how do you put them on a pedestal? How do you defend that? I mean, it drives me fucking bonkers. It drives me absolutely crazy. How do you do that? How do you fucking do that? I don't get it. Am I crazy? I must be. I don't know. I sit and think about this shit too much, and then it drives me fucking nuts. I drive myself crazy thinking about it. Although one of the CEOs of the nonprofit organizations I spoke with over the phone, I've heard this actually from quite a few different people. They pretty much say the same thing. Well, I'm sure these people, their hearts were in the right place, but then they got a little taste of popularity, and then they lost all sight, and at the snap of a finger, they lost all sight of what they set out to do, and now they're competing with one another, and which makes sense. I would like to give people credit for the shit they do, but that's why they're doing it. That's why they're doing it. You got to be pretty fucking insecure about yourself to go on Facebook and brag about all your good things, because you're so amazing, and the women on there, why do you grovel at the feet of all these guys? Why do you strive for their attention all the time? Why do you do it? It's just so stupid. So stupid. I don't know. I just sit here and I wonder a lot of things. You know, there's a few friendships that I repaired, that I was able to fix, and there was one person in particular who they reached out to me in a text message and said, "Hey, I was wrong. You know, can we talk?" And it kind of almost made me cry, because it's like, oh my God, there is hope. You know, like, holy fuck, I actually got through to somebody. I mean, it took for me to, you know, say some not so nice things about the person, but they opened up. The lights come out inside. You know, I don't enjoy talking badly about people. I don't like it. But you know, I've been hurt enough times by people who I thought I could trust, people that I thought I could carry on with, and people who I thought I mattered to them. Not for popularity, I'm talking just personal one-on-one conversations. I thought that, you know, I had something going there. But people, they read Facebook. They read horrible things about me. They're still doing it. I mean, this Justina Banks fucking troll. I don't know whose profile picture they're using now. They're using Amy's the last time I knew. Who knows what other picture they're using? Who knows? It's like these people are really disgusting. These people are hurt too, and they won't admit it. They're cowards. They're too much of cowards. Because when they hurt, it makes them feel better when they can make somebody else's lives miserable. I don't feel good about making anyone's life miserable. There's enough misery in the world to fucking last a lifetime. I don't want to add to that. But you know, sometimes you gotta speak up. You gotta speak the truth about things, even if it hurts. Even if I have to put people on public blast like this Lori Libby, which I thought in the beginning, I thought she was a sweet lady. And there may still be a chance that she might prove to me that she's a sweet lady. But right now, she's looking pretty fucking stupid. I don't know. I don't know where I went wrong. And I think about that a lot. It's like, I'm just a guy who survived cancer. I'm a guy who understands exactly what your kids are going through. I've been through all that shit. No one's going to know better than me. Or some other person who survived it. Where did I go wrong? I don't know. But it's the kind of shit that just constantly races through my mind. I would have given the shirt off my back for anybody. Guess it didn't matter. But Lori, if you're listening to this, I hope you'll consider emailing me, and if you're willing to have a civilized conversation, I'll take back everything I said. Every rude thing I said about you, I'll take it back. But until then, fuck you. If you're going to praise a predator, fuck you. And I fear for Max's life. Boy, do I fear for that kid. Yeah, whatever. But anyway, guys, I've been here for over an hour. This is the first daily rant that I've done in quite some time. I didn't really know exactly what to say, what I want to talk about, but I didn't think I would drag on like this either. I was hoping to talk about something different, but, guess things just happen the way they do. They turn out the way they do. But, okay, well, I guess I'm out of here. Thanks for listening and indulging me. You made it this far in the Daily Rant recording. I'll be on YouTube later for the Sunday video update going live at 3 o'clock. Chat logs are open. Stop by and say hello. If you're going to be a dumb fuck and leave stupid comments, your ass is history and you'll never be allowed back in the chat room ever again. But I do invite you to drop by and say hello. Even you, Lori, if you have a YouTube channel, which I know you do, drop by and say hello. Or say, hey, you think we could talk after the show's over, after you're done doing your live video, you think we could talk in an email or maybe even over the phone? I'd be open to that. I'd be open to that with anybody. If they're willing to have an honest conversation, I would be willing. Tom Mitchell, I would have been more than happy to speak with Tom Mitchell over the phone if he would have apologized for fostering the lie that he did. But he's not going to do that. He's not going to be sorry about that. He's not sorry for what he did or what he said about me. So fuck him. I'm not sorry for what I said about him either. These people are going to learn. I'm not fucking playing games either. So, that's all for now, guys. I will catch you later. So until then, toodaloo.